Hello, students. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
We completed polyvinyl chloride yesterday. Polyvinyl chloride. Hello. So we completed preparation, properties, and applications of PVC yesterday. Yesterday's class. Hello, students. Tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we'll discuss. So we'll discuss today nylon 66 and Teflon. Okay. Nylon 66 Teflon today we'll discuss. Bakelite we'll discuss on Monday. If the time is there, today we can discuss. Okay, we know the properties of PVC. Okay, preparation of polyvinyl chloride. So we are preparing by addition polymerization process. So we are taking n number of vinyl chloride molecules and we are using catalyst benzoyl peroxide. Okay, and we are applying heat and pressure, and we got the here we obtain the polyvinyl chloride polymer. Okay, so after this preparation we will go, means we will use this polymer polyvinyl chloride when we can prepare different articles here. Okay, ma. Now properties are polyvinyl chloride, it is colorless, odorless. It is colorless, odorless, non-inflammable, chemically inert powder, and it is resistant to light, atmospheric oxygen, inorganic acids and alkalis. But it is soluble in hot chlorinated hydrocarbons, example ethyl chloride. Its melting point is 148 degrees centigrade, and this polymer, it is strong and brittle, but it is not stable to heat and UV radiation. Okay, it will undergo degradation. When it is exposed to UV radiation, it will undergo degradation. So these are the properties of polyvinyl chloride. And applications are, so we use rigid PVC or unplasticized PVC, and the other type we will take here plasticized PVC. So we will use plasticizers, okay, in PVC polyvinyl chloride, and we'll make here sheets. Okay, for making sheets, it is used for making sheets, packing raincoats, tablecloth curtains, electric cables, toys, radio components, and plastic coated cloth, chemical containers, and we use as a thermal insulating foam used in buildings, cinema theaters, and aircraft. So some examples you remember, students, out of these. Okay, now plasticized PVC, it is used for making sheets, packing raincoats, tablecloth curtains, electric cables, toys. Okay, some 5 or 6 you remember. Okay, next one, rigid PVC or unplasticized PVC. So these we are using, we are making sheets we are making that are used in tank linings, chemical tank linings, or any other tank linings. Okay, we are making safety helmets, refrigerator components, tires. So these are the applications or uses of PVC. So students, remember these 5 points: properties and applications. For rigid PVC, you remember these: tank linings, safety helmets, refrigerator components, tires. And for plasticized PVC, you have to remember electric cables, toys, okay, tablecloth curtains, raincoats, packing raincoats, sheets. Okay, so remember some examples: radio components. Okay, so this is about PVC. Now next, nylon 66. So nylon belongs to polyamide. It belongs to polyamide. So you can observe here in nylon 66, okay, amide bond, that CONH. So this is called polyamide polymer. Okay, na? So polyamide, nylon belongs to polyamide class of synthetic polymers which have the repeating amide group, repeating amide group, CONH, again CONH. Okay, so repeating amide group will be there in the polymer, that is nylon 66. So this nylon was synthesized in London. Nylon was synthesized in London, and the technology was taken and manufactured in New York. First it is synthesized in London, but later on manufactured in New York. So after the two cities where NY stands for New York. Okay, nylon. NY stands for New York. Okay, na? And LON. So that stands for London. Okay, na? So where it was synthesized? In London, it was synthesized, later on manufactured in New York. So the given name for this polyamide, the name given is nylon. Ny means in New York, LON, London. Okay. So this polyamide was given the name nylon. So there are different types of nylons are there, like nylon 6,6, nylon 6, nylon 10, etc. But we are going to discuss only nylon 6,6. So where the in nylon 6,6, where the first number stands for the number of carbon atoms in diamine. You can see here number of carbon atoms in diamine. So first number 6, it indicates that the number of carbon atoms in diamine. Okay, na? And the second number indicates the number of carbons in diacid. Okay, number of carbon 4. This is 5, 6. So number of carbons in adipic acid. So we are going to prepare now nylon 6,6. Already we have discussed this example in condensation polymerization. Okay, so we are taking here two different monomers, adipic acid, hexamethylene diamine, with functional groups COOH, and here in hexamethylene diamine N+2. Now we are condensing these two monomers with the different functional groups undergoing polymerization process. So we can see here the polymer is obtained. The polymer is obtained in this type of polymerization by elimination of the small molecules like water or HCl. In nylon 6,6, in this example, what we have taken adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine monomers. So when we are going for condensation polymerization, removal of water molecule is taking place. Okay, OH from adipic acid, hydrogen from hexamethylene diamine. So removal of water molecule is taken place here and forming the nylon 6,6. Nylon 6,6. So this is the preparation of the nylon 6,6. It is prepared by condensation polymerization of hexamethylene diamine with the adipic acid. Now properties. So this nylon 6,6, it possesses high melting point. It possesses high melting point. So melting point will be 264 degrees centigrade. Okay, 264 degrees centigrade. Why it is having high melting point means because of the due to the hydrogen bonding. Due to the hydrogen bonding between hydrogen of the amide group and oxygen of the carbonyl group. You know, amide bond will be there in nylon 6,6. So hydrogen bonding between hydrogen of the amine group and oxygen of the carbonyl group. So here the melting point will be more, okay, high melting point. So that is 264 degrees centigrade. So this is the first property you write, ma. Nylon 6,6 possesses high melting point in the range of 264 degrees centigrade. And second point, nylon 6,6 have good strength. Okay, they have good strength and they absorb little moisture and are thus drip dry in nature. It will dry very fast. Okay, ma, they will absorb little moisture. And these fibers are flexible. These fibers are flexible, okay, after using means and retain original shape after use. Okay, these fibers are flexible and retain original shape after use. So next, this nylon 6,6 possesses high temperature stability. High temperature stability. Okay, and good abrasion resistance. It is having good abrasion resistance. Abrasion resistance means when we are using the material, okay, after some days or like that, when we are using the material, if there is no removal of upper layer of that material, no removal of upper layer of the material, so that material will have good abrasion resistance. Good abrasion resistance. If there is some removal of upper layer of the material is there, so we see that it is not having strength, means it is having poor abrasion resistance. Poor abrasion resistance. Whereas nylon 6,6 it possesses good abrasion resistance. Okay, and it possesses high temperature stability. It is stable to the it is having resistance to heat. Okay, high temperature stability. And they are insoluble, nylon 6,6, they are insoluble in common organic solvents like benzene, acetone, okay, but soluble in phenol and formic acid. They are soluble in phenol and formic acid. And these fibers are easily blended with wool. We can mix nicely with wool. Okay, it is easily blended with wool to increase the strength, and abrasion resistance of wool. So these are the properties of nylon 6,6. First is it possesses high melting point to 64 degrees centigrade. So it is having good strength. It will absorb little moisture. Okay, and these fibers are flexible, and it possesses high temperature stability, good abrasion resistance, and these are insoluble in benzene, acetone, but it will be soluble in phenol and formic acid. And these fibers are easily blended with wool to increase the strength and abrasion resistance of the wool. So these are the properties of nylon 6,6. And now uses of nylon 6,6, applications of nylon 6,6. So these nylon 6 is used for fibers. So what we are making here is socks, okay, which find use in making socks, ladies hoses, okay, ladies hoses, undergarment dresses, carpets. Okay, we are making with nylon 6,6. Socks, ladies hoses, undergarment dresses. Okay, parachute cloth colors. This also with nylon 6,6 only. Okay, this clothes. So next, undergarment dresses, carpets. And also it is used for making filaments for ropes. Okay, na? So we'll make the ropes also with nylon 6,6. Okay, ropes, bristles for toothbrush. So we will use the toothbrush now. So that bristles for that are made by nylon 6,6, bristles for toothbrush, and tire cords. So these are some of the applications of nylon 6,6. Okay, I gave some other here, seat belt, okay, hose pipe, okay, sleeping bag. So some other examples also I gave uses of nylon 6,6. So this is about nylon 6,6. You have to write, students, first when you get write preparation properties and applications of nylon 6,6 means you have to write first preparation. Okay, then you write properties, what I told you, properties, then write applications. So next synthetic polymer is polytetrafluoroethylene. Polytetrafluoroethylene. Okay, it is also known as Teflon. So preparation, properties, and applications of Teflon or polytetrafluoroethylene. So this polytetrafluoroethylene, okay, or Teflon, it is prepared by addition polymerization. It is prepared by addition polymerization. It is prepared by addition polymerization. Okay, so by taking what we are taking, what monomers we are taking, tetrafluoroethylene molecules we are taking, n number of tetrafluoroethylene molecules, and adding benzoyl peroxide catalyst and applying heat and pressure, and we can get, okay, we are getting a linear polymer, straight chain polymer, that is polytetrafluoroethylene. Polytetrafluoroethylene. So same like one more example we discussed, what, polyvinyl chloride. Okay, we are taking n number of vinyl chloride molecules, adding catalyst, applying heat and pressure. So we are adding, okay, we are adding n number of vinyl chloride molecules, same type of the monomers, and here also we are getting a straight chain polymer, polyvinyl chloride. Okay, so it is also prepared by addition polymerization. You can see straight chain. Okay, so same way Teflon also. So Teflon also prepared by addition polymerization by taking n number of tetrafluoroethylene molecules, adding benzoyl peroxide catalyst, applying heat and pressure. So we prepared polytetrafluoroethylene. Okay, now properties. Here you can see what is there in polymer fluorine atoms. Okay, ma? So due to the presence of highly, hello, you are listening to me? Students, you are listening to the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So due to the presence of highly electronegative fluorine atoms in Teflon, highly electronegative fluorine atoms, so it results in very strong attractive forces between different chains. Very strong attractive forces will be there between different chains. These strong attractive forces, okay, gives the material extreme toughness, means we get very tough material, okay, extreme toughness, and it possesses high melting point. It possesses high melting point. Melting point is 350 degrees centigrade. Melting point is 350 degrees centigrade. Okay. So it possesses high chemical resistance. Okay. Towards all chemicals, it is having chemical resistance, except we can, when we take hot chlorine and hot alkali metal, except that it is having high chemical resistance towards all chemicals. And next property, it is having high density. Okay, high density, like a 2.1 to 2.3 gram per cubic centimeter. So this Teflon have high density. Okay, na? So it is very strong, hard polymer. Teflon is strong, hard polymer because it is having high melting point 350 degrees centigrade. We get a very tough material because of the presence of highly electronegative fluorine atoms. So this will have very strong attractive forces between different chains. Okay, so these strong attractive forces that gives the material extreme toughness. So we wrote here it is a very strong hard polymer. So that can be mission to, okay, mission to drilling punching. That can be mission to drilling punching. And also one good property here, Teflon, it possesses it is having, or it possesses very good electrical insulating property it is having, Teflon. Okay, and also it possesses very good abrasion resistance. Nylon 66 also it have good abrasion resistance, and Teflon also it is having good abrasion resistance. And here it possesses it is having good electrical insulating property. So these are the properties of the here Teflon. First one you write it is having high melting point 350 degrees centigrade. Because of the presence of highly electronegative fluorine atoms, it becomes very tough material, and it is resistant to all chemicals except hot fluorine. Okay, ma? It is having high density. Okay, you can write the density 2.1 to 2.3 gram per centimeter cube, and it is strong and hard polymer, so that can be mission to drilling, punching and all. And it possesses very good electrical insulating property, and it possesses very good abrasion resistance. So these are the properties of Teflon. Now applications. Teflon, since it is having good electrical insulating property, so we will use in motors, transformers, cables, wires, etc. Okay, motors, transformers, cables, wires. And also it is used in making gaskets. Students, we will use in our home pressure cooker. Okay, so in that you can see rubber pipe. Okay, so Teflon we can use in making gaskets, pump parts. Okay, tank linings. In tank linings also we can use, and tubing. And also due to its extreme chemical resistance, okay, it is used for making chemical carry pipes. Chemical carry pipes. So Teflon it is used for making chemical carrying pipes. And it is used for non-stick stopcock for burettes. You can see the students here, burette. So this stopcock. So this is made by Teflon only. Non-stick stopcock for burette. Next one, non-stick cookware products. See, non-stick cookware products are also made by Teflon. Non-stick cookware products, example pans. So this is also made by Teflon only. Okay, so many uses are there, ma. You remember and write. Okay, sir. You learn applications of Teflon. Okay, it is used in motors, transformers, cables, wires, gaskets, pump parts, tank linings, tubing, chemical carry pipes, Non-stick stopcock for burettes. Okay, non-stick cookware products. Example, pans. So these are the applications of Teflon. So see the students, each polymer is having different properties and different uses. So what you have to do, first you have to learn preparation of polyvinyl chloride. Okay, next preparation of nylon 66, preparation of nylon 66. Next, preparation of polytetrafluoroethylene, Teflon. Now I gave 5 points here in properties of PVC. So what is the melting point of PVC? What is the melting point of PVC?
148 degrees Celsius.
148 degrees Celsius.
What is the melting point of nylon 66? Melting point of nylon 66. What is the melting point of nylon
264 degrees Celsius.
What is the melting point of Teflon? What is the melting point of Teflon? So 3 polymers we discussed. Preparation properties, uses.
350 degrees Celsius.
350 degrees centigrade. What is the melting point of PVC? PVC.
148 degrees.
Okay. Nylon 66.
246 degrees.
240.
Not 240.
260.
264.
264.
Hmm.
Teflon.
350.
350. So Teflon is having good electrical insulating property.
Yes.
Nylon 66.
No.
No. Nylon 66. See the properties, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Nylon 66. It is having good electrical insulating property.
Insulating.
No. See the properties and tell me. I gave any insulating property here?
No.
Yes or no? No. Okay. Now tell me, PVC. PVC, it is resistant to?
Non-inflammable, chemically inert.
It is
Resistant to
chemically
light.
inert powder, non-inflammable. It is colorless.
Odorless.
Odorless. Okay, it is resistant to
Light.
Atmospheric
oxygen, inorganic acids.
Inorganic acids and alkalis. Okay. PVC is strong and
Brittle.
PVC is strong and
Brittle.
brittle. PVC is strong and brittle, so it will be easily breakable, but it is strong only, and it is not stable to. It is not stable to
Heat and UV radiation.
heat and UV radiation. Now tell me the properties of nylon 66. What is the first property? What is the first property nylon 66? Students, you have to listen. What is the first property of nylon 66? It is having high melting point. It is having high melting point 264 degrees centigrade. Okay, it is having good strength. Nylon 66 is having good strength. And the third property is what? What is the third point in property? In properties, what is the third point? Nylon 66. Students, tell me. It will absorb
Little moisture.
little moisture. It will absorb little moisture. It will dry very easily. Okay, it will absorb little moisture. And next point, these fibers are hello students, tell me, these fibers are
Flexible and
retain to original shape after use. So these properties you can't see in PVC. So each synthetic polymers, it is having its own properties. Okay, you have to learn the properties. Applications also different. Okay, na? So next, nylon 66, it possesses high temperature,
Stability,
students,
ma'am.
stability, whereas PVC, it is not resistant to, it is not stable to heat. It is not stable to heat and UV radiation. Okay, but here if this property you remember, nylon 66 possesses high temperature stability and good abrasion resistance. Good abrasion resistance. And it is soluble in phenol and formic acid, but it is insoluble in benzene and acetone. And these fibers are easily blended with wool. Okay, to increase strength and abrasion resistance of wool. Now tell me properties of nylon 66, not Teflon. What is the first property, ma? What is the first point in Teflon? What is the melting point of Teflon? Students, what is
350 degrees Celsius, ma'am.
350 degrees centigrade? Okay, it is having second point,
High density.
high density. Third point,
Very strong and hard.
strong, hard polymer. Fourth point,
Electrical insulator.
good electrical insulator. Fifth point,
Abrasion resistant.
good abrasion resistance. So these 5 points you have to remember, properties of Teflon. Okay. Now tell me applications of Teflon. I gave here 5 points. Applications where we are using Teflon.
Insulating
Where?
material, wires, cables, transformers.
Okay, wires, cables, transformers. What else?
Pump parts, tank
Pump
lining.
parts, tank linings. Next,
It is chemical resistant, so pipes, chemical carrying pipes.
chemical carrying pipes. Next, last 4, 5. Tell me 4, 5.
Non-stick cookware, non-stick stopcock.
Non-stick stopcock for burettes. Next, fifth point.
Non-stick cookware.
Non-stick cookware. Okay, ma. So these are the applications of Teflon. Now applications of nylon 66 also different, ma. You have to remember. Okay, na? Tell me applications of nylon 66.
Fibers for clothes.
Clothes. Okay. Mainly we are going for manufacturing clothes only. Socks, ladies' horses, undergarment dresses, carpets, etc. And also ropes we are making, bristle for toothbrush, tire cords, etc. Remember these applications. So students, we discussed 3 now, synthetic polymers, polyvinyl chloride, nylon 66 and Teflon. For these 3, first you have to learn preparation. After preparation, learn properties for each. Then you have to learn applications, uses of all the 3 synthetic polymers. Now, so 4 are there. We have to discuss 4 are there. Okay, no? Students, you can see this 4 we are discussing. So we completed 3. 4th one is bakelite. So you can take your chemistry notes. You can write in horizontal way. You can keep the notes in horizontal way. Make 3 columns. So first column, you write preparation of PVC. Write the preparation. So below that, preparation of Teflon. Write preparation. Next, preparation of nylon 66, write preparation. Next, preparation of bakelite, write the preparation. So first column, all preparations. Second column, you write all properties. Properties of all 4 synthetic polymers. Okay, tomorrow, next class, you have to show me. Okay, so next, third column, you write uses of PVC, uses of nylon 66, uses of Teflon, uses of bakelite. I will send you this PPT also today. Now bakelite. So bakelite, it is also a polymer, synthetic polymer. We are preparing with the chemicals. Okay, na? So bakelite is an important thermoset resin. So polyvinyl chloride, it is thermoplastic resin. Teflon is thermoplastic resin. Nylon 66 is a thermoset resin. And bakelite, it is thermoset resin. Okay, so bakelite is an important thermosetting resin. After the this named after the scientist Bekeland, who prepared this bakelite is the scientist Bekeland. So in the year 1909. Okay, so he synthesized this polymer he synthesized this polymer bakelite in the year 1909. So it is prepared by condensing. It is prepared by condensing phenol with formaldehyde. So two chemicals we are using, phenol, formaldehyde. Okay, so it is prepared by condensing phenol with formaldehyde in the presence of acid or alkaline catalyst. So this polymer bakelite is prepared by taking phenol with formaldehyde. Okay, in the presence of acid or alkaline catalyst. So this polymer, the chemical name is phenol formaldehyde resin. Phenol formaldehyde resin or phenolic resin. Phenolic resin. Phenol formaldehyde resin. So we are giving the name here is bakelite. Why we have given the name bakelite means because the scientist Bekeland, he synthesized this polymer, that is phenol formaldehyde resin. Now bakelite is the commercial name for the polymer, so which is obtained by polymerization of phenol and formaldehyde. Now here see the students now. Okay, na? So we'll discuss 3 steps here. So this preparation, everybody have to listen. Okay. So first we are taking phenol, 3 steps will be there. First step, we are taking phenol and formaldehyde. So when both are reacted, okay, in presence of base catalyst, what we got, we got here ortho meta-para, okay, ortho hydroxymethylol phenol, okay, and para ortho meta-para, para hydroxy methylol phenol. So this is the first step now. So the initial reaction, when we are taking initial reactions, we are taking phenol and formaldehyde. When we are made to react that both the chemicals, so the initial reaction results in the formation of ortho and para hydroxy methylol phenol. Okay, so which reacts to form linear polymer Novolac. Okay, second step will go now. Now, second step is, this is step 1. In step 1, we will get ortho and para hydroxy methylol phenol. So we are taking ortho hydroxy methylol phenol, n number of ortho hydroxy methylol phenol, and we are going for polymerization process. So when we are going for polymerization process, here removal of water molecule is taking place. See the step 2. So we are taking n number of monomethylol phenol. So what is removed when we are going for polymerization process means elimination of water molecule is taking place. Elimination of water molecule. Okay. And here obtaining, so what we got here is Novolac structure, linear polymer. So second step, we will get the Novolac structure, which is a linear polymer. Novolac structure. See here, Novolac linear polymer is obtained. So now we are taking Novolac structure. Okay, third step. So we are taking a Novolac resin and we will add in that formaldehyde. We will add again formaldehyde. Okay. So Novolac resin is further heated in the presence of formaldehyde and adding hexamethylene tetramine catalyst. This is catalyst. Hexamethylene tetramine catalyst we are adding. Hexamethylene tetramine catalyst are added. So when we are adding this, okay, we are taking Novolac linear polymer. After obtaining, to this we are adding formaldehyde and also we are adding catalyst hexamethylene tetramine and we are heating. Okay, we are heating that polymer. So we will get, so this linear polymer, it will convert to cross-linked polymer. So that cross-linked polymer is bakelite. So we will get a cross-linked polymer. So that is known as bakelite. Okay. So second step is formation of Novolac structure. Okay, by polymerization process and removal of water molecule is taking place. Means it is undergoing condensation polymerization. And third step, we are taking Novolac resin and we are adding formaldehyde and adding catalyst, hexamethylene tetramine catalyst, and we are heating that polymer. So we will get a cross-linked structure, that is bakelite. So I gave here also. Okay. So now this when we are taking this one, so converts the Okay, which converts the, when we are heating that mixture, it converts the soluble and fusible novolac into hard infusible and insoluble solid of cross-linked structure. Bakelite is formed. Now this bakelite is cross-linked structure which is hard, infusible and insoluble solid. Okay, so this is the preparation of bakelite. Preparation of the bakelite. So this I gave 3 steps are there. Learn these 3 steps. Okay, no? So this you have to learn preparation of bakelite. And here I gave here, why I gave here means this no need also, but just I gave. We are taking phenol and formaldehyde and we got monomethylol phenol. So according to ratio, when you take, we get to dimethylol phenol, trimethylol phenol. If you take 1:1 ratio, these two, you will get monomethylol phenol. If you take 1:2 ratio, phenol formaldehyde ratio, okay, you will get dimethylol phenol. If you take 1:3 ratio, okay, phenol formaldehyde, you will get a trimethylol phenol. But this no need, okay, na? So first we are taking phenol and formaldehyde. This only you prepare. Phenol and formaldehyde. We got ortho and para hydroxymethylol phenol, and we are taking n number of ortho hydroxymethylol phenol and undergoing means we are going for polymerization process, where here only condensation polymerization is taking place, where removal of water molecule is taking place, removal of water molecule, and we get an novolac structure. Okay, linear polymer. So to this novolac resin, we are going to add formaldehyde, and also catalyst we are adding hexamethylene tetramine, and we are going to heat that mixture. So when we are heating that, this novolac, that is fusible resin, it will convert into fusible linear polymer. It will convert into cross-linked polymer, that is the bakelite. Students, hello students, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, what are the 2 chemicals we are using in preparation of bakelite?
Phenol and formaldehyde, ma'am.
Phenol and formaldehyde. So what you got in first step? What we prepared in first step? Students, tell me. When we are taking phenol and formaldehyde, what you got?
Hydroxymethyl phenol.
Hydroxymethylol phenol. What is the second step? Tell me. Students, this is very, very important.
Polymerization of hydroxymethyl.
Polymerization of hydroxymethyl phenol. So what type of polymerization is taken place here? What type of
linear polymerization.
What type of polymerization? What type of polymerization? Removal of H2O is taken place here. What type of polymerization, ma? Which molecule is removed here?
Condensation.
Condensation polymerization is taken place. Okay. So if the monomers are containing the functional group, okay, so it will undergo condensation polymerization. We discussed already by taking nylon 6,6. Yes or no? Now, what structure you got? Tell me. After removing water molecule from hydroxymethylol phenols, what structure you got, students?
Novolac
structure. So novolac structure is that is called bakelite. Huh? Novolac is no. What we are doing to get the bakelite?
Adding formaldehyde.
Adding formaldehyde and also catalyst. Which catalyst we are using? Which catalyst we are using?
Bakelite catalyst.
Which catalyst we are using? Tell me.
Hexamethylene tetramine.
Hexamethylene tetramine catalyst we are using. Then we are heating. When we are heating, what we will get?
Bakelite.
We'll get a bakelite, that is cross-linked polymer. Okay. So students, you have to learn all these preparation of bakelite. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 is preparation of ortho and para hydroxymethylol phenol. Step 2 is preparation of Novolac. Step 3 is what we are getting is Bakelite. That is preparation of Bakelite cross-linked structure. Okay. So this you have to learn preparation of Bakelite. So I gave you notes also. You can see in the notes. If it is there, if it is different in the handwritten notes, you take. I have sent notes also. I have sent. I think you just refer. Okay, whatever the notes I have given, you see. Now, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
How to prepare polyvinyl chloride? Tell me. How to prepare polyvinyl chloride? How to prepare polyvinyl chloride? Polyvinyl chloride. In the name itself, you can understand, ma. How to prepare polyvinyl chloride? Students, you are not listening to the class, huh? How to prepare polyvinyl chloride? Hello? Students, how to prepare polyvinyl chloride?
Heating of phenyl chloride.
By taking
Vinyl chloride.
vinyl chloride, how many number you will take?
No.
N number of vinyl chloride molecules you are adding and using catalyst, applying heat and pressure and going for polymerization process, you will get the polyvinyl chloride. So which type of polymerization was this one? In preparation of polyvinyl chloride? Students, tell me which type of polymerization? In preparation of PVC. Hello?
Condensation, ma'am.
Condensation, huh?
One.
Addition.
Condensation, huh? Any elimination of byproduct is here, huh? Any
No, ma'am.
elimination?
Addition, ma'am.
Any?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Which type of polymerization?
Addition.
Addition
ma'am.
polymerization. Now Teflon, tell me which type of polymerization? Preparation of Teflon.
Addition.
Addition, ma'am.
Addition polymerization. What you are taking? Monomers. What monomers you are taking here? In Teflon?
Tetrafluoroethylene.
Tetrafluoroethylene. N number of tetrafluoroethylene you are taking. Adding a catalyst benzoyl peroxide, applying heat and pressure, you will get polytetrafluoroethylene, linear polymer, straight chain polymer. Now nylon 66, which type of polymerization? Tell me. Nylon 66, which type of polymerization?
Condensation.
Condensation, removal of water molecule. Now Bakelite, you tell me. I will show you now. Now Bakelite, tell me.
Copolymerization.
Copolymerization.
Condensation.
Condensation, removal of water
Condensation only,
molecule is taken place here also. What type of polymerization?
Condensation.
Condensation polymerization. So out of 4, what we discussed, ma? Okay, polymers, synthetic polymers, polyvinyl chloride, Teflon. So these 2 are prepared by addition polymerization. Nylon 6,6 and Bakelite, these 2 are prepared by
Condensation.
Condensation polymerization. Okay, so students, you have to learn the preparations. Preparation you have to learn, then only after that you can learn properties and uses. Okay, so next class I will tell you properties of Bakelite and uses. Then we can discuss the other topic, biodegradable polymers. Okay. Okay, shall I end the class? Hello, students.
Yes.
Okay, na?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.